Thank you all for coming. My name is Tim Henkel. I am CEO of Penrose. We are proud to be here today to celebrate this event. It's been, as usual, a long time coming, but this one is a product of ingenuity and a product of really dedicated people of Woodbridge Township and Middlesex County. We have a long list of people who will speak today, and so I'm going to try and ad-lib in between the speakers and fill in some of the blanks of what has taken us to get here today. One thing I want to point out very specifically is this is the second building on this site, and the other is next door. All are here and welcome to not just observe the fact that we're breaking ground on a new project, but that there's an existing affordable housing development that's already in place, and that's an accomplishment unto itself. First off in our order of speakers is Mayor McCormick. I'm privileged to introduce Mayor McCormick, who has been a leader, obviously, in the township, but a leader, within the development, redevelopment, and affordable housing world. He's someone that we can always look to. He kicks the tires, and I remember before we did this project over here, he came and kicked the tires at one of our projects, showed up 15 minutes before our scheduled appointment to make sure that I wasn't stacking the deck, and met one of our residents out front who probably gave the best testimonial ever given. So good that he thought I had stocked the pond with her.
That's all in my speech, man.
Oh, I'm
You're
sorry.
killing it.
I love him. I like him.
Thanks, pal. It gives me great pleasure to welcome everyone to a true veterans town here in Woodbridge. We have 6 active VFW posts, 3 active American Legion posts, the Kevin J. Reinhardt Detachment of the Marine Corps League, a local chapter of the Disabled American Veterans, and the Montfort Point Marines, all working together under our Veterans Alliance, headed by George Schneff at the end here, who does an amazing job making sure our veterans get what they need from these organizations. Being the former state commander of the New Jersey Disabled American Veterans gives him the experience to organize our posts locally and introduce them to statewide resources that they never knew about. We have a terrific Veterans Day parade, somber Veterans Day luncheon, annual Support the Troops rally for those still serving, and last year we hosted the statewide Veterans Forum at our community center, led by Jeff Canner, the head of the New Jersey Statewide Veterans Chamber of Commerce. On Veterans Day, dozens of veterans visit our 24 schools to talk about their experiences with the students and teachers, and they all love it. We would like to thank Penrose Properties for their investment once again in Woodbridge Township after they opened the building next door in October of 2019, which dedicated 25% of the apartments there to our special needs population. When they came to us, we knew we had to check them out, so Carol Ehrlich, our Chief of Staff and Redevelopment Agency Director, and I drove to their Old Bridge facility and just walked around and randomly spoke to their tenants without even saying who we were. And what we found was that everyone we talked to loved living there, and we were sold. What we love best about this project is not just that it provides 60 beds of much-needed veterans housing for those in our town and in our state, but the fact that the programs and services needed by these veterans will be provided right here through Soldier On, another group we checked out only to see them pass with flying colors. No longer will these worthy vets need to travel to see the various medical professionals they need, because these providers can just meet them in the lobby or go to their room. We also have 6 senior housing complexes run by the Woodbridge Housing Authority and 4 run privately, and they all have veterans living there comfortably, but without direct access to the programs and services they need. Now we can offer them the chance to move here and be with fellow veterans and have experienced professionals in dealing with veterans issues right at their fingertips in the building they live in. This complex is appropriately named for Carl E. Peterson, a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient who lived in the Avenel section of Woodbridge. I also have a proclamation from Senator Pallone. It says everything I just said, but he is a congressman, so I have to read it or I'll be in trouble. From Congressman Pallone, it is with pleasure that I write today in celebration of the groundbreaking of Peterson Commons. I would like to thank you for the invitation to participate in this special occasion and regret that I am unable to join you today. Today's groundbreaking marks the beginning of construction of a newly developed affordable housing community for veterans. Named in honor of Carl Peterson, a local resident and World War I Medal of Honor recipient, this project reflects a deep community promise to serve seniors and veterans. I would like to thank Penrose, the Township of Woodbridge, and all those involved for their efforts to provide permanent and supportive housing for our most vulnerable residents. The 60 units, along with on-site supportive services brought by a partnership with Soldier On, is an important step in safeguarding the well-being of our veterans. I am committed to continuing my work in the House of Representatives to ensure that our veterans have the necessary resources for healthy, secure living. Once again, I would like to commend everyone gathered here today for their work on behalf of the community. I am confident that this development will be a valuable resource to our state's veterans. From Congressman Pallone. Thank you, Congressman. I just want to quickly thank the Woodbridge staff that put this all together. Megan's our Deputy Communications Director. Kelly's our Assistant. Councilman Corey Spiller's here. We have several other Woodbridge officials here, and thank them for everything. So now, since we are in a veterans town, it is only appropriate that we welcome to Woodbridge a true veterans governor in New Jersey, Governor Mikey Sherrill. Governor Sherrill's commitment to veterans began during her term in Congress, where she voted for tens of millions of dollars in federal funding for the HUD VASH program, which helps at-risk veterans secure permanent housing. Now here she is doing the same thing in New Jersey. She fought for the PACT Act, which expanded health care to 3.5 million veterans exposed to toxic burn pits, and she helped enact the Blue Water Navy Act, which finally expanded health benefits for many Vietnam veterans. Just look at her recently introduced state budget, and you will see an additional $11 million commitment for the Bringing Veterans Home project to end veterans homelessness. Here she is supporting this project that does exactly the same thing. Her budget supports affordable housing all over New Jersey for all residents by reducing diversions from the Affordable Housing Trust funds, because a greater supply of affordable housing keeps costs down for those who need it. Her budget also increases the down payment assistance program by $5 million to help more families afford their first home. Ladies and gentlemen, it truly gives us great pleasure to thank the state of New Jersey for supporting this wonderful project, and I'd like to welcome to our groundbreaking ceremony New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill.
Wow, thank you guys, and thanks so much, Mayor. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Tim, and all of the representatives from Penrose. I want to thank our speaker for being here today, as well as Commissioners Rios and Kenny. I also want to thank our friends from the Housing, Mortgage, and Finance Agency, the Economic Development Authority, Hudson Housing Capital, and Woodbridge Township. You know, these projects are so incredibly important to me. It feels very personal. Over Easter weekend, I was just visiting the Naval Academy, and I had a little bit of time to kill before a meeting I had. And so I was in Memorial Hall, and it listed all of the Naval Academy graduates who had died in different wars. And as you can imagine, certain years, the list was quite long and lengthy. And recent years, people I knew who died in Iraq and Afghanistan. And beyond those lists of people who had been killed in combat are all the many other veterans who've served, but have done tough duty and sort of paid the price really for the rest of their lives with some of the scars that can never be healed from that type of work. And I am always so upset that we can put trillions of dollars into defense spending, and yet when it comes to then caring for veterans who have really been at the front lines fighting those wars in the aftermath of those scars created by combat, sometimes help and support is really hard to come by. And so I've advocated for my entire career that we think of the aftermath of these wars and make sure that we are caring for those who serve. Because as we look to the future, I won't go into my feelings on what's going on in Iran, but I will tell you that the service members who serve there deserve to be cared for and taken care of no matter what they face. And that's something that I'll constantly advocate for and ensure here in New Jersey we're fighting for. So as you heard, we just passed an incredibly difficult budget. We were being hit from the federal government. We didn't pass it, sorry, Mr. Speaker. I'm speaking that into the universe. I'm speaking it into the universe. We are working hard for the future. But what we didn't do is cut back on a lot of the support we have for our veterans here, because we've also seen an affordability crisis across the country and certainly across our state. And when we look at some of the housing numbers and the people who are finding it unaffordable to stay in their homes, we certainly see problems with young people being able to afford to stay here, but our seniors are also getting hit incredibly hard. People on a fixed income and suddenly costs go up who can't really manage that change. And one of the areas of concern is certainly senior veterans who have struggled in this area. And I just talked to a gentleman, Scott, who was a sharpshooter serving in Lebanon right before Beirut was attacked. And he was injured. And so for 20 years, he really struggled. He and his sister lived in I said at the last veterans event I was in Montville this past month, he said, I said it was mice infested, and he said it was rat infested. He said it was even worse, but they recently lost even that home that they were struggling to keep up with. And so because of this support, because of another veterans project, he and his sister were able to move into an apartment. And this home is going to provide that same kind of security to some of our community members. And to hear the other types of support that Woodbridge provides, I always say I love all my children, so I don't like to pick and choose the best municipalities in the state of New Jersey. I will tell you the mayor feels no such compunction. He said this is the best municipality in the state of New Jersey. And certainly tracing all the ways the community is pushed in to support our veterans is one great sign of a really thriving community. So I just want to thank everyone who's been a part of this project, everyone who continues to support all the people who've served, and everyone who continues to work hard to address the affordable housing crisis that we have in this state, the affordability crisis that we have in this state. And I look forward to the day when we pass a really great budget, right, Mr. Speaker? It's coming. It's coming. But thank you all so much. I sincerely appreciate you having me here today for this wonderful event. Thanks again.
Well, thank you, Governor. Thank you for being here. I think your remarks echo Governor Sherrill, the candidate, the nominee, governor-elect, the governor passing a budget. As it relates to housing affordability in general. So I think this is our welcome to you to kind of the supply side of that conversation. The demand is well documented and well noted, and the people have spoken in responding to your messages. And so as we work hard here to supply affordable housing through the engine of the speaker list that's here, it's important to acknowledge how much work is going into it. And on behalf of veterans, your remarks caught me. I had a conversation with George and his wife over here, and I'll do this poorly because these are your words, but he spoke about the meaningfulness of being under the arms of a building named after a veteran. And, as I hear you speak, I'm thinking, well, that is about the least we can do. And if we don't do the least, we're really falling short. And so thank you for that. Your words will stick with me for a long time, and I really appreciate it. It's my honor next to speak, to introduce the Speaker of the General Assembly, a resident of Woodbridge, who I've had the pleasure of appearing with a number of times. So what that means is that we're producing, and you're a big part of it. So come on up here, sir.
When you said we've been performing together a couple of times, I thought we were forming a little duet. Maybe we'll take this act on the road, which wouldn't be a bad thing, right? This is a terrific day, a special day. Governor, the mayor whispered to me that $10 million more for Woodbridge in the budget would go a long way to him convincing his very dear friend, Craig Coughlin, to be. But we digress. Welcome, everybody. It's great to be here. Let me, I don't think she was mentioned before, but she was here. Nancy Pinkin is here. Thank you, our county clerk, for being here. On behalf of my colleague, if she is Nancy, thank you. On behalf of my colleague, Senator Vitale and Assemblywoman Lopez, both of whom couldn't be here, both of whom send their best wishes and congratulations. This is really a special day. It's a special day because the sun is shining. It's finally feeling like spring. I don't have to wear a top coat. I don't have to complain about the weather, but it's mostly a special day because it does so much for the community and is a demonstration of all that we can do together. There are millions of dollars invested in this program, both from governmental funds and from the developer. So, Penrose, thank you for your commitment. Thank you to Jonathan at HMFA for the work that you have done in bringing home the dollars. Thank you to Mayor McCormick for the work that he has done. You know, Woodbridge is a place that gets things done. It's a place that makes things happen. We're heading into the music season here in Woodbridge. Once we turn the corner of Memorial Day, we have music literally every day in one place or another throughout the township. Literally every day, Governor. And so it's the kind of place where they care about the people and care about getting things done. It's also a special day because for the first time during the time she's the governor, Governor Sherrill is with us, and that is that is a really special thing, Governor. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring about Woodbridge, caring about our veterans, caring about our seniors, and mostly recognizing that this is such a great project because of what it does. It achieves an awful lot. We talk about veterans and the contributions that they make. I think all of us who know them know that they continue to serve even after they're out of the military and after their service to the nation is done by serving their communities. You know, I do a lot of work around food insecurity, as most of you know. And if you go to a food pantry, you're likely to find a veteran volunteer. You're also likely to find them in places like helping to run the veterans organizations to make sure that the community continues to recognize their great contributions and what they do. This is an extension of that, and what I'm going to leave it to my friend Ron Rios to talk about what veterans homelessness means. It's something he's championed now for a number of years, and it's going to be on display right here when we move some of these units for homeless veterans. But it's a combination of things that really make a difference, because another group that also continues to serve the communities that they help build, the communities that they love, are senior citizens. And so senior veterans is a real double treat for all of us. And that's why this place is going to be special. And that's why today is so exciting, because it demonstrates that when we put our minds together and we work really hard and we have common goals and we care about important things, then we're going to get it done. And so I look forward to being here. We have really sort of perfected this in the political world. This is the first groundbreaking. There will be another one as we get to the last stone. There'll be one when we open the door, actually, for the first tenant. And there'll be one right after that just for the hell of it. So this is the beginning of a process, but something that really tells the people of Woodbridge, the people of New Jersey, that we're addressing those concerns. The governor talked about it. We all know we have a housing shortage, a particularly affordable housing shortage in the state of New Jersey. We've done some good work legislatively. The bill we passed, A4, is anticipated to bring 50,000 units of low and moderate income housing over the course of the next decade. But we know that that's kind of a good start. We need to continue to work on it. Places like this are going to make a difference. It means so much to the people who will live here, right? We all know about the comforts of home. There's no place like home. Wherever you go, I love to go away. I love to travel, but there's nothing like walking through the front door and being home again. It is a special place, and for so many people, we're going to offer now the opportunity to share that very safe and secure feeling right here in Woodbridge, where they love to be. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for what you have done. There's going to be a great day. Thank you, Governor, for being here. We'll get to work on that budget, okay?
As you've heard, Senator Vitale's not with us today and has sent his regrets. I'm going to take a little moment here to grab part of his agenda and just refer you to the back of your program and look at the development team. Just make sure we understand the team that put this together. Mary Johannesson is here from Thriven, so you can wave your hand. You know, some of the team members are here who've done the architectural design. And I particularly want to look over and speak to the guys from ARC. They're wearing the reflective vests. Those are safety vests. Construction remains a risky profession. And I always like to make sure at groundbreaking events that we wish them safe travels, Godspeed on the way. I know how much work goes into making sure we build a quality building, but also build it safely. And thank you. We've had great success with ARC builders. Next, it's my pleasure to introduce County Commissioner Director Ron Rios. Middlesex County has been a stalwart supporter of affordable housing, a reliable well of meaningful contributions and support. So it's wonderful to have you here again. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Governor, it's a pleasure that you come to Woodbridge, the best town around, in the best county around. Just saying. But we thank you also for your service to our country. Thank you. I'm honored to be here today as we celebrate the groundbreaking of this new housing complex for veterans. Veterans are a special place in our heart in Middlesex County, and I can assure you that. We owe the brave men and women who served in our armed forces a debt of gratitude. They took an oath to protect our nation and our democracy, and they did their part. Now it's our turn to do our part by providing the services and support our veterans need. That includes housing. The 60 units that will be built here by Woodbridge Township will offer safe, comfortable space for those who have served our nation. At the county level, we too are proud to serve our veterans and their families every single day. Through our Veteran Services Program, we connect veterans and their families with services such as affordable housing, security deposits, food assistance, mental health care, resume building, and job placement. We work closely with local, state, and federal partners to secure these services for our veterans. And we were recognized by Michelle Obama when she was still First Lady that we had zero homelessness in Middlesex County with all the services that we provide for our veterans. With this new housing complex, when this new housing complex is near completion, our Veteran Services staff will share information about it so veterans who are seniors may be able to take advantage of this housing opportunity. So on behalf of the entire Board of County Commissioners, I congratulate Woodbridge Township, particularly Mayor McCormick and the Town Council, and all the partners involved in this project on today's groundbreaking, and thank them for their ongoing commitment to serving those who have served our nation. This project will make a tremendous difference in the lives of so many veterans. And of course, to any veterans and current service members who are here with us today, thank you so much for your service to our country. Your dedication and bravery are remembered and appreciated always. And thank you to the families of the veterans, because they sacrifice as well. I look forward to seeing this housing complex rise up and become home for so many veterans. Thank you.
We've reached the capital partner section of our agenda. We'll start right from the top with a different kind of veteran. Melanie Walter has been executive director of the NJHMFA for 5 years. And I've had the pleasure of really participating as a partner with NJHMFA during that period. I find Melanie to be a curious collaborator in the process of figuring out how we can do it better, do it faster, all on behalf of doing more. The production side of the affordable housing industry is incredibly challenged by interest rates and tax credit pricing and all those kinds of things. We're really fortunate to have your leadership. Come on up.
The thing about affordable housing is that you get the chance to see a community rise from the ground. If you look behind you, that was the same pile of dirt we see here 2 years ago. And now that's 170 homes for families. And now we're building a senior community and a veteran community. What does that do? That creates an intergenerational community that didn't exist 2 years ago. And so it's really an exciting thing to come out to see the start of something new, but to share it with the possibility that now is, and realize that you're inviting veterans into a space where they're going to continue to contribute. Kids from that neighborhood are going to wander through this complex, get to know the seniors in their neighborhood like we all did as kids. When you talk about military families, they move a lot. Right? I used to laugh that my husband could pack everything he owned into 2 duffel bags in the back of his car, and I had more sweaters than that. But you move and you move and you move, and you learn to get it all down into a few small boxes. Well, when that stops, you've served your country, you're trying to put together your resume. How do you describe anti-mortar work in Iraq on a resume? Great attention to detail, technical skills, I don't know. It's trying to build and get a fresh start in a new community and a new space. That puts you at an advantage because you have the structure and the history of military service, but it also puts you at a disadvantage because of that instability. Where's home? Where's community? Where are those supports? Woodbridge does an amazing job of providing that support, and so building a beautiful new veterans building here allows us to ensure that veterans who've served throughout their lives in their community, in the military, have the opportunity to have a real permanent home. Buy that couch, set up those lamps, have that home knowing that you don't have to leave again, that this is a beautiful, brand new place. This is housing that you can have for the rest of your life if you so choose. That's incredibly meaningful for anyone. It's particularly meaningful to people who have served and had to go through that transition over and over and over again to know that they're really home. So this project is beautiful, and it's going to be a really meaningful and exciting end result. So I'm so glad to be here with you at the beginning. Looking forward to returning to see the ribbon cutting at the end.
Thanks, Melanie. I'm going to grab a little more of this agenda and just ask the people from Soldier On who we've been talking about to raise your hands. So 5 people from Soldier On here. That is a genuine, meaningful, real, tangible nonprofit committed to this space, which is to suggest that not all are, and they've really accomplished quite a bit. At this moment where we're opening this, groundbreaking this project, we're working on the closing of another project in Boston, Mass. With these same people who are here today. And so you kind of see the reach and the replicability of that partnership. It's one that we value quite a bit, and I'm really happy that you're all here with us today. Thank you. It's an exciting day for us here, Evan. We get to almost simultaneously congratulate you, welcome you, and invite you to speak. The brand new CEO of the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. Well, I guess not brand new, but pretty close. The EDA is administering, particularly, many things, but on behalf of this project, the Aspire Tax Credit Program and evolution of the New Jersey State Tax Credit has become very muscular, very powerful element of the redevelopment process here in New Jersey, and the collaboration between NJEDA and NJHMFA has smoothed so much over the past years, and I know you've been a big part of that. It helps us get to these closings quickly, and we really appreciate it. Thank you for being here.
I thought we could start with some tax credit trivia, if people are game. You all get one chance, okay, just one. 3 questions. So the first question is, which county in New Jersey has the most Aspire Tax Credit Awards?
Middlesex.
Okay, you go. Someone say Essex. Essex is second. Middlesex is first. Which has the most under construction? Which county?
Middlesex.
Okay. And this isn't part of the trivia, but Woodbridge is one of the few places that has more than one. 2 projects, including an amazing one at Metro Park, one of the most interesting multimodal projects that we have. The third is, how does this happen? And I'll answer that. It's kind of who you see here. All the different partners who worked on a project like this. He didn't go into it, but these tax credits, I think you said they're strong, they're muscular, but they're extremely complicated. They're very, very hard to use and to pull off with something like this. And speaking as EDA, but most of our projects cannot happen without HMFA. The partnership that we have with HMFA allows things like this to occur. Us working ourselves can't get this done. One thing I've learned from working with the governor is just to never quite be satisfied, to always ask what can we do more, what can we do next. I know from hearing today and in our own pipeline, this won't be the last project we have in Middlesex or in Woodbridge. So given I'm new, really looking for feedback from all of you. We just don't want to accept the current way of doing things. Again, we got here, it's a huge accomplishment, but I know we can do so much more in the next several years in the governor's administration. The last thing, I didn't realize this actually. My mom was a psychiatric emergency services worker. She used to be on rotation sometimes in the prison that is right there. And she worked with a lot of veterans, particularly veterans at the time from the Vietnam era suffering from schizophrenia. Many of it, this has been mentioned earlier, could be homeless. She's not with us any longer, but the fact that this is happening, I think she would have just been so, just wowed by this. Too many people wound up in that prison who, should have been living in a housing like we're building here today. So extra meaningful. I didn't even realize it until when I was driving up today. So just a huge accomplishment to everybody that's part of this. So thank you.
Another insertion here. I'd like to acknowledge the staff of Penrose Management Company. These folks back here in the corner, all dressed in red, accidentally, they tell me. Our folks that manage next door, but also throughout in the projects that the mayor mentioned in Old Bridge. They're a tight unit, and what we deliver is nothing unless we maintain it, operate it, and deliver that experience to the residents. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of what you've accomplished. So thank you for being here. I'm going to invite up Kimmel Cameron from Hudson. Kimmel's a longtime partner and friend, responsible for syndicating our tax credits.
Thank you, Tim. Pleasure to be here. Thank you, Governor. Everybody that spoke before me, they're much more eloquent speakers than I am. But I want to say that we are pleased to be a part of yet another Penrose transaction, another New Jersey deal, another Aspire and tax credit transaction, and been many veterans developments as well. And we're on the Soldier One property in Boston as well. It's just so, it strikes me as the affordability, the veterans and all the people that need the affordable housing, they work harder than I know that I have since I was carrying bricks when I was 18 years old, and haven't done that much since then. And I just always appreciate that they have a harder life, and to have a home that they can come to, because these are their apartments, they have kitchens and baths and all that stuff, but they're homes, and that was mentioned earlier. And that is, we were at something in New York at a veterans thing, and one of the speakers that said, when you're homeless, you spend your whole day, where am I going to sleep? How am I going to get a hot dog? Where am I going to get something to eat? It's much more expensive. It's much more damaging, and that's a full-time job just to understand what that is. And when you have a home, that gives people time, lets them rest, stress relief, and I say we're very happy to be a part of this. Our partners were J.P. Morgan Chase. There's about $20 million, about half in Aspire credits and half in low-income housing tax credit equity, which their dollars, their numbers, they're important, but really what's being built here is very heartwarming. So thank you to our partner and friend Tim and Penrose, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Thank you.
The last group I'd like to embarrass, if I could, is the development staff of Penrose who are here. Kelly Yan, Lindsay Sampsey, Charlie Adams, our president, Margot Elton Ratliff, and Matt DeSanta. You didn't think I was going to forget your name, did you? These are people who are very, we talked about the complexity, Evan, talked about the difficulty and the collaboration it takes to coordinate tax credits and underwrite the deal and get it to closing, and to invite Chase Bank to purchase the low-income housing tax credits and the Aspire tax credits. These are the people who are keeping their heads down, grinding through this stuff. Sometimes not very rewarding experience. Today is your reward, as is that moment when people move in. And so, we like to take a deep breath, and it's nice that it's on a sunny Friday to acknowledge them. Last, somehow, on our speaker list is Carolyn Ehrlich, who is Woodbridge. I mean, my goodness. When you walked up here today, I was like, here we are again. But very, very instrumental in, I think, navigating, the waters. What happens at the municipal level is complicated. It's hard to manage, and you exactly, by title, manage exactly that. So come on up here, Carol.
There's a rule in public speaking that when you're the last speaker, you have to have the shortest speech, so I promise you I do. We can truly never do enough for our veterans, so we were so excited when Penrose chose Avenel to construct this veteran housing. And me, along with Marta Leskey, the Director of Planning, and Heather Lamata, who is the Deputy Director of Redevelopment, we will be with you every step of the way through construction to make sure that everything goes smoothly. But we're not going to stop when the construction is done, because as Evan mentioned, when you get an Aspire grant, normally you have to give a community contribution. But because this is a nonprofit project, you didn't require that. Well, we decided to. And so the Penrose has agreed to provide us with community veteran services for every veteran in town, not just the ones who are living here. And we are very excited. So the mayor and I and Third Ward Councilman Corey will be working on that. So thank you, everybody, and have a great time.
Okay, as we wrap up, very, very brief, I promise, closing remarks, but really to pick up on what Carolyn said, we are often with our projects trying to make sure that we're exaggerating the impact. We will clearly put 60 units of housing here. But how we then use this as a venue for the community to deliver more services to veterans, more opportunities, is something that when you're shepherded well by a township that really wants to maximize the impact, we're able to do that. So I'm really excited about that. So the project started in December of 25, like the very end of the year. It will complete in April of next year, so we're a little around a year away. So we'll expect you all back. Mark your calendars. And I want to make sure that the invitation is extended to visit the building next door. You'll see a very kind of product of exactly what we'll be delivering here.